You know that the biological value is actually a big fucking mistake? You know that? Who came up with this shit? I don't fucking understand it. Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to talk about the biological value. Yes, the biological value. The number that separates the meat eaters from the vegans, and pretty much starts off a huge discussion of what is the best protein source. Let me tell you this though, I'm going to touch up on a couple of things. To be honest, I was very curious. I had a look on YouTube to see if there was anything, anyone that could maybe contradict my video, my information, what I'm going to be releasing today. Well, today, I'm recording today, going to be releasing a little bit later. Anyway, enough of that. The biological value is the biggest mistake. Okay, it's not the biggest mistake humanity has ever done. Humanity is a little bit stupid and we've done mistakes. I've done mistakes, we all have. But it makes absolutely no sense at all. Now let me tell you exactly why. The biological value is pretty much just a number telling us what is the best protein source available, what Mother Nature can give us. Not processed proteins, okay? Not processed proteins like whey, casein powders, soya powders, not the processed foods. Anything that you can dig up from the ground or get from Mother Nature in general, okay? So the biological value is pretty much just a rate from 1 to 100. Let's go back in time a little bit, the history. The reason why we have this value is not just because of a number, it's actually a percentage. Yes, it's a percentage. That means, obviously, 100%. What's better than 100%, right? Wrong. That's where we fucked up. The highest percentage, the best protein source, what you can get from your supermarket right now is eggs, and that's full eggs. Now, this is a funny story, but egg whites is not the same as full eggs. Oh, you probably heard it first from me, but get this, there are two different types of proteins in eggs, and only having full egg do you have the biological value of 100, whereas egg whites, I think egg whites are 88, if I'm not mistaken. 88 is, remember? It's still very high, but having them whole, you get a high percentage. Now, this is the best protein source what you have on the planet. You have your meats as well. Your meats are ranging at about 80, so I would say give or take 77 to 84 from chicken, lamb, beef, pork, fish. Those are very high quality proteins. Fantastic, your body can assimilate a lot of amino acids from that. Then let's go a little bit lower down the charts. Let's go to some plant-based proteins. We have some potatoes and rice and quinoa, soya proteins. I'm probably forgetting a lot of protein sources, but those are not bad actually. Those are pretty good actually. The range around about, I'd say, give or take 55 to 80. So there's some good stuff out there, okay? So why the hell shouldn't we all just go vegan if they're all pretty much good? Because to be honest, everything ranging about 70 is sufficient. Those are good. So why are we eating meat? I will tell you exactly why. And also a reason why we shouldn't be eating meat. So let's get to it, okay? The first thing though, modern proteins, processed protein. Eggs are supposed to be the best at 100%, right? That's where I said wrong in the beginning, is because whey protein, not even concentrate, whey protein. Oh wait, is whey protein under? No, whey protein in general is 104, whereas whey protein concentrate is even higher. The biological value in general, well, let me just throw in whey protein isolate. Whey protein isolate has the highest biological value on the planet with 159, okay? So that means if we go by this rule, 159% means that this is a bonus, we get 30 grams of protein from whey protein isolates, and we land up with 45 grams of protein assimilated in our bodies. We get magic proteins out of there. We get more amino acids all of a sudden. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It makes no sense. Biological value in general, what it actually means is the amount of amino acids, the amount of proteins what we can take in and digest in comparison to the amount of amino acids, proteins getting excreted. Okay, that means plant-based proteins, you lose a lot of proteins. Your body doesn't take it up, and you're losing your money. It's the same thing as amino spiking companies. You're buying a type of protein which has 80 grams on it. It says 80 grams on it, but you're only getting 30. So why is plant-based proteins so good? They're all shit, right? Not exactly. Now you see what I'm talking about, eggs. Eggs in general are just what we thought was the best protein source. It doesn't mean that we take up all of the amino acids from eggs, 100% of it. It's even possible that we lose the amino acids even if your protein synthesis is slightly higher than normal. Of course, if you're using steroids, your protein synthesis is going to be through the roof. But in general, it's also possible with, of course, a large amount of proteins taken in. It's definitely possible that you're going to lose amino acids, that your body's not going to get it in general. You know, if you have 100 grams of protein, a lot is probably going to get wasted. And that's where whey isolate comes into place and is pretty good. But that is also the next case. You know, whey protein, it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you're going to be taking in 100% of the protein as well. It just means that you get a lot more proteins in comparison to a lot more proteins wasted. So it's even a higher quality. The best bang for your buck, what you can get, is a hydrolyzed whey protein isolate. It just means that these protein components are super small and they are pre-digested. Yes, that what happens there is already finished and powdered for. Okay, I'm a stupid beatboxer, I'm even a stupid, I don't know, talker. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get back to the topic, okay? Hydrolyzed whey protein isolate is pretty much the best protein source what you can get, but still you have to combine your protein sources so that you can be sufficiently taken care of by Mother's Nature's braimus. I don't know what they call protein in Greek. It comes from Greek in general. It's called prime nutrition. But Proteus, that was it. That Proteus, that's prime nutrition, prime ingredient in Greek. So that in general, like I said, biological value makes absolutely no sense. A rating of 1 to 100 and you have better protein sources anyway. So what does this mean in comparison to plant-based proteins? Does Mr. Vegan Gains have a point? And I am happy and I am afraid to say, I don't know who is going to agree or not agree, but he is right at the end of the day. Now there's a lot of people that have arguments who cannot back this up. We as the humanity, we still cannot back this up. If meats are definitely the best version for building muscle. What your body needs are, okay, not a cow or plant or anything. What your body needs at the end of the day are the essential amino acids. How you get it fucking doesn't matter, okay? As long as your body takes it up and your body delivers the essential amino acids into your muscle cells. It creates protein synthesis, muscle protein synthesis, okay? That is the most important thing. Is a plant-based diet, aka vegan diet, then pretty much the best thing what you can do because you're reducing the amount of animal slaughter and whatnot? Actually, to some point, yes. Am I a vegan? No. And there's a reason for that. And this is the reason why I'm going to get covered up right now. The problem with plant-based proteins in general, they are there was a slight amount of proteins out there in plant-based forms which have a complete amino acid profile. Almost everything is incomplete, but that doesn't mean you can get, doesn't mean you can't get everything. It's just a little bit harder. You have to combine all your protein sources. Now, let me give you a fantastic example. This is what I like to call the rice bean yin yang. Okay, you know what a yin yang is? Have you ever seen Town and Country yin yang? It's a black and a white thing together. Okay, it means completion. They both need each other. Black, white. Without each other, they're fucked. They don't work. They don't do anything. Together, they're fantastic and they are complete. Essential amino acids. Rice has a lot of amino acids which are fucking nothing. You know, you don't have these amino acids, and it is abundant of other amino acids. Whereas beans are missing those benefits from rice. What rice has. Rice has certain amino acids what beans don't, okay? And that's the funny thing, because beans don't have specific amino acids what rice does. So they're both bullshit, right? Aha. Combine them together and you get an even higher biological value. Ta-da! That's where the cleverness comes in. We have multi-component proteins on the market, and the reason for that is having different amino acids from different sources, and that actually increases the biological value. Wow! So if I have a soy protein product of about, I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, 77 biological value, 77. And I combine that with a bean protein and a pea protein and a egg protein and everybody clap crack on McDonald had a farm. E-I-E. Fucking shut the fuck up. God damn, getting carried away again, okay? Now, on McDonald's, go away. Yes, it means that all those plant-based proteins increase in biological value. Okay? So at the end of the day, what does that mean? We're getting all our amino acids through the plant-based diet. That's fantastic. We don't need meat anymore, do we? Yes, well, actually, we don't. The thing is that I wouldn't mind going the vegan route. It's just that it all depends on your goals. Vegans will always have a much harder problem. It's a bigger stepping stone than meat eaters for getting lean, getting cut. I am in a diet right now, so getting lean proteins, just pure proteins, is easy. It's easy. You have eggs, you have chicken, you have beef and pork and lamb. Okay. Anyway, leave that to the side. Lean proteins. That means I can cut carbohydrates, I can cut fats, I can keep it extremely low. Okay? And that is the problem with plant-based protein. You'll always have a high carbohydrate count. And that forces vegan guys, okay? That is going to force a vegan person to drop their fats considerably. Now, there are arguments, okay? I'm not even going to get into that because this is an argument that just keeps on going on and on and on. It's a huge war between meat eaters and vegans about how important fat is. Fat is fucking important. I can tell you through experience, if I don't have a certain amount of fats, I'm going to turn into a zombie and feel very, very foggy. And we have science that fats are bad and we have science that fats are good. Just please, whenever you see a test and you ever see something bad about some certain something, okay, always remember, okay, these tests are always done with considerably high amounts of everything, that what we don't ingest, whether it is aspartame, whether it is vitamins, whether it is drugs, whether it is fats, macronutrients, everything. These researchers pump in so much of the stuff to get a result out, okay? If they don't get results, they're fucking bored and say, add more. So all these fat tests that are done, they're all done with a huge amount, okay? But at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter because by experience, that's the only way you can really know what affects you, well or negatively. Okay? Now let's get back to the whole vegan diet. Raising carbohydrates and low fat. Okay, well, at least you somehow regulated your amount of calories for your diet or for leaning down, but you're probably still gonna have a huge amount of carbohydrates. There are fantastic sources: quinoa, bulgur, kale, potatoes, sweet potatoes, peanuts. Peanuts are fantastic. I'm gonna touch up this in another video about understanding about carbohydrates, because there's a huge misunderstanding going on, because people referring to the glycemic index, whereas you have to consider glycemic load and your insulin index, okay? Where proteins can actually be a problem as well. What? Yes. But we're going to touch on that in another video, okay? There is another score though. I hope this video is not going to be too long and I'm going to get the shit covered up quickly. There is another score though, and that is your amino acid score. That is far better than the biological value. The amino acid score is pretty much a score originated by the amino acids what a protein source has, if it is complete or if it is not complete, okay? So that makes a lot more sense of the day. And there are a lot of vegetables or grains or whatever with a pretty decent amino acid source. We have meats ranging at around about like 140 of amino acid score, which is fantastic. And then we have, again, back to quinoa again, ranging about 90 to 100. So that doesn't sound too bad, doesn't it? No, of course not. It doesn't sound too bad, actually. So if you do combine your plant-based products, you are going to get a sufficient amount of amino acids. At the end of the day, it's just about your carbohydrate intake. If you're building muscle mass, who cares? As long as you keep it to a certain amount, and as long as your your metabolic rate is on track and it's not crashed or damaged it because of a badly planned diet, and I've seen that 1,000,000 times already, then you'll just be fine. But regarding the whole carbohydrate thing, you have to take glycemic load into consideration, because the higher, the more carbohydrates you take because of the plant-based proteins, you are going to probably fuck up your diet because of that glycemic load. So combine all your proteins, okay? If you do that, congratulations, and well done to you for choosing this route of veganism, because my God, I can't do that shit. I'm fucking lazy. No, I'm not lazy as hell. I could do it. It's just that I need my lean proteins at the moment for my career in general, and it is a high quality protein source, and I don't have those fucking drugs to increase my protein synthesis, which, funny enough, a lot of these vegans, these big vegans, okay, who are getting praised, by the way, they are on drugs. It doesn't mean they're anything bad. No, not at all. You should never judge a person by them taking anabolic steroids, okay? Don't ever fucking do that because you are a fucking fool, because they're probably clever, or they probably get it because of a deficiency from the doctor prescribed, okay? I hope I got that covered up, and I hope this is somewhat informative for YouTube, because like I said, I was looking around on YouTube and there was not much explaining this. Not even the doctors and professors are getting into the nitty-gritty of understanding the biological value, or even getting into all in general the graphs, you know, and biological value and glycemic index, glycemic load, insulin index and whatnot. Now, if you did enjoy this video, thank you very much, and by you smiling, you officially confirm your finger clicking on that mouse on that like button, and subscribe, because a lot more videos like this is going to come on. This video shouldn't be as long as it should, but at least I got everything covered, and I hope you guys had some fun with this conversation. And let's see if I can pump out a lot more informative things as well, instead of those little motivational things and videos and what? Okay, it gives a fuck. Those things are cool. Aren't they? Yeah, they are. Okay, take care guys, and Peace.